All right, so we just got these mushrooms home, and the first step we do is just kind of sort them out. You know, we picked out ones that we're going to sell. Then we take the rest, the ones that we're going to keep, and we go ahead and put them in a bowl first and fill it with water.
You kind of want to place the big ones at the bottom so they don't get crushed by the lid I'm about to put on it.
Okay.
So the little ones will be better at the top.
There we go. We filled it up. Then she's going to fill it up with water.
So you want to try not to run the water on the morels, but on the side of the bowl, because you don't want to break them because they're pretty fragile. Then you want to make sure you have enough water to submerge them. I just used a pot lid or something that you can put in there that won't hurt them, and push it down. And I take a couple of stones and I put it inside the pot, and now it's all submerged. Then you let it set for overnight-ish, so all the bugs come out of the morels before you process them.
So that soaking part right there, we do primarily just to get the bugs out. You know, it forces them out, and then we give them a quick rinse, just a very, very light rinse. You know, fill the bowl up and kind of rinse it out, and do that a few times. The crumbs that are left over, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, sprinkle it around the trees or your yard or something like this. I've been trying it for years, and I've never once had it work. You know, it can't hurt to try, and we still do, but just letting you know, it's never worked for us.
This batch has been soaking overnight in water with a lid on it to submerge them. Now I'm just going to rinse them off. As you can see, all the stuff that comes out with them, which is gross and you don't want to eat, like a slug. Yuck. Then I will put my hand over the water because you don't want to damage the mushroom. Fill it back up.
Hitting the side of the bowl.
Yep, don't hit the mushrooms with the water. And I just kind of dunk them a little bit.
This is for the rinsing process?
Yep. And then I swish them around. Just gently though, because you don't want to ruin them. And then I do it one more time. Get as much as you can off of it. Grab some paper towels and wet it. Wring it out. And lay it over your mushrooms. Then these go back in the fridge. A few hours or overnight to firm back up before you do the freezing process.
All right, for this next part, we're just cutting the mushrooms in half. So this is after they've been soaked overnight. All the bugs are out. It's been rinsed. We, you know, just like I said, just a quick rinse. And then from there, we pull them out one by one, cut them in half, and we put them on this cookie pan, and then we basically flash freeze them at just the way they are. In between, so this batch, in between, after you rinse them, you want to put them back in the fridge for one more day just to stiffen them up a little bit. So at this point, 1 day overnight in the fridge to soak, rinse them out, drain it, put them back in the fridge so that they dehydrate just a little and firm up just a little bit. Then you pull them out. So a two-day process basically. Because if you leave them in the bowl or take them straight from the bowl after they've been rinsed, they're really soggy, and you don't want to flash freeze them like that. They kind of tend to flatten out and mush out a little bit. And Mrs. H just let me know that the main reason she lets them sit in the fridge overnight one more time, not in water, is because it's really hard to cut them in half once they've been soaking overnight because they're still really soft and mushy. So by putting them back in the fridge for one more day, not in water, they dehydrate a little bit and firm up a little bit. Makes it easier to cut them in half. And you can see they're all cutting in half pretty easily right now. Mrs. H wants to show me her big one.
I can't get to the big one. Oh, the big ones.
Look at that monster. That's too big for your knife.
It It's already semi-split, so it's not that difficult.
Thanks for sharing your big one with us.
Root with dirt part left on it, you need to cut it off unless you like to eat dirt. And sometimes occasionally you'll find bugs inside when you cut it, but they're usually dead because they've drowned.
And you know what? If you're eating wild mushrooms, there's nothing wrong with eating the occasional bug.
You probably are eating the occasional bug, whether you like it or not.
Guaranteed. All right, so here's another little thing to look out for. Sometimes you find ugly moldy spots. Just cut those off and get rid of them. See how discolored it is in there? We'll cut it in half and you open it up and figure out what the bad parts are and just chuck them. Yeah, that one's kind of discolored right there. Now, the whole morel, like we've got some darker morels, and that's fine. Those are still the Americanas, and they're fine. But when you have a really dark piece inside of one, that's what you want to get rid of.
All right. Now this tray goes in the freezer overnight. And I usually just whack the tray down really hard, and they come right off the pan.
Yep, we'll show you that next step when it's ready.
These just came out of the freezer. And all I do is take the tray and smack them on the counter. And if they don't break up, you do it again. Sometimes they go flying. You just drag them back. And I reweigh them out to a ½ pound. It'll be slightly more because of the water in them, but it's okay.
When you're weighing your mushrooms to sell them, they have to be weighed as they were picked. And I recommend doing it as soon as you pick them, because every minute after that, they start drying out and they become, they weigh less. So this is just for us to package them. We package them in about ½ pound packs. And it works out good. You know, when we have company over, we want some, ½ pound is a good amount to share. So like I said before, we freeze them this way so that they don't get smushed down during the vacuum sealing. And we actually have packages in the freezer right now from 4 years ago that have held up just fine. We go through them every now and then. I give them as gifts sometimes. And it's just very effective.
I have 2 more trays over there, babe. Bring them over to the vacuum sealer. Get them as flat as possible so they don't break. Some of them will pop and break. But most of them stay
And that's it. That's how we package them. All right, so there we go. We got 3 ½ pound packs and 1 11 ounce pack. And like I said, they store really, really well like this. All right, well, this wraps up our morel season for 2023. We collected a little over 9 pounds, I'd say, in total. I was able to sell 4 pounds, and we kept about 5 pounds for ourselves. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps. We'll catch you on the next videos.